Hello, you guys. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Am I in bed? Yes. I hope that's okay. If that's okay with you, you know what I mean? I know this is not how most people film their YouTube videos, but I just don't feel like getting out of bed, and it's late, and tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I gotta wake up early, and I'm doing all the cooking, and but I still wanted to chit chat with y'all before I go to bed or whatever, before I watch the basketball game, because the Spurs ain't gonna watch. I'm gonna watch ball. But yeah, so what I want to talk about today is and let me know if you like my lipstick. Anyways. No, okay, but what I wanted to talk about today was I never had a boyfriend. Right? I've never been in a relationship. I've had like a couple talking stages, not multiple talking stages, like everybody goes through talking stages. I had a bunch of talking stages. But I've only ever talked to two men seriously. Like I've only ever taken two men seriously. And the main problem with those relationships, right? Like, because the men that I took seriously, they weren't bad men. Like, I have a hard time like listening to so much like women content, decent men content, or like women getting cheated on, or like like whatever, because I have never been through those situations. And it's not that I don't believe women or I don't empathize with women. It's just that because of my discernment, right? And I'm not victim blaming. I'm not victim blaming. But what I'm saying is having a certain level of discernment, having a certain level of understanding about yourself, vision for your life, will keep you out of a lot of situations, right? That's what I'm going to say. For one, both of the men that I took seriously, I chose them, right? I chose them. I saw a man who had qualities that I wanted, and I took a shot. Like I took my shot. I don't want to say I pursued them because that term is very loaded, but I chose them, right? Like I'm like, oh, I want you, right? And whatever I did to make that happen, that's what happened. And the issues that I had with these men was simply that they were not willing to give me what I wanted in a relationship, and I walked away. Period. Point blank. Period. Right. I wanted emotional vulnerability. I wanted a serious commitment. I wanted connection. They could not give me that. So I left. Boom. It's that simple. Did it hurt? Yes. It was not a process without pain. Of course it hurt, right? Of course it hurt. I'm only human. You want something, you feel something for somebody, you don't get it, it doesn't work out, you feel pain, right? But did it break me? No. Did it devastate me? No. Did it leave me so unwhole that now I hate all men and I had to rebuild my whole life? No. Was it painful? Of course. Like I said, of course. But like I said, I never been in a serious relationship. And I'm starting to look at like all the women around me, all my friends, and I realized they've never been in a healthy relationship. So I'm like, did I really miss out? Right? I'm like, a lot of the women that I know, they are just in a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship, right? They met a man, the man was putting in more effort than the other man, however which way that is, right? Texting, attention, compliments, dick. A lot of times it's just dick. And that was enough to be in a relationship. But inside the relationship is always missing serious emotional vulnerability, actual commitment, right? Because a title is not commitment, right? A title is not commitment. A lot of women confuse a title with commitment. Titles are not commitment. So I'm looking at all the women around me who are, either digmatized or confused by a title, claim that they have a relationship, when in reality they have a title and they have infatuation, right? And I realized that my boundaries or my ideology of a relationship has really saved me, right? And because I grew up, right, a lot of people grow up and they need validation. They either need validation or they need like material things, right? it's either one or two things that you didn't get as a kid. You either didn't get validation at home or you didn't get things, right? You either grew up in a home where your mom told you how pretty you was, but you know she couldn't afford to get you the nice things, or you grew up in a house where you had everything, but you didn't have anybody validating you, right? And I grew up in a household where I had the things that I wanted, but also I got emotional validation. Well, you know, it depends, right? I had to find my own validation. I had two working class parents. So regardless of like how my mother validated me, I spent more time in the external world than in my own home or with my parent. So the messages that I was receiving from my community, the people around me, were stronger than the messages that I was receiving at home. Right. When you have working class parents, that's 9 times out of 10 that's going to be the truth. Your parents don't actually have the time. They're not spending enough time with you to actually provide you with the social programming that is going to make you a whole human being, unfortunately. So, like, at school, I'm getting terrible programming, right? So, for me, I had to find validation from within inside myself, right? Like, I had to seek validation from my intelligence, develop a personality, like, really get to know myself. So, I could never rely on my look. I mean, I've always been a beautiful girl, but, you know, mixed messages from the haters who hate. But, you know what I'm saying? That's not the messaging that I was receiving. So, I had to create my own messaging. So, no amount of a man, you're prettying, you're beautiful, I think you're so nice and so kind to death, has ever been enough for me in a relationship, right? And no amount of sex. I'm demisexual. Emotional sexual touch doesn't really do it for me. It never has. I don't know why. It just never has. Like, not even when I lost my virginity, it didn't feel that great then. I just never been dickmatized. You know what I'm saying? Have I tried to hold on to a man using sex? Yes, I'm not a perfect human being. One of them two niggas, definitely, obviously both of them niggas, I tried to hold. But that's not the story here. Okay, that's not the story here. We'll get into that maybe one day. But what was my point? No, just playing. But my point is that, like, me not being in a serious relationship is not a result of people not being interested. I had a dude one time, like, I met off Tinder or something, and we went on one date. Mind you, never go on a date to a nigga house because he was obviously crazy. Because when we got back from that date, he was like, I want to be in a relationship right now. Like, it's no point of us beating around the bush and like, we might as well be in a relationship right now. I'm like, why would we be in a relationship right now? Like, we don't even know each other. Like, we don't know anything about each other. You don't know me. And he was so pissed. He was so angry that I would not be in a relationship with him. But imagine if I would have said yes. Like, he was obviously crazy and throwed off. I would probably be beat, battered, and bruised right now, or lucky to be alive, right? And I think a lot of times women are so flattered by a man jumping into a relationship with them right away. They're like, oh, he wanted to wife me. I'm a girlfriend now. And the whole time you about to be a victim. Like, you about to be a victim. This man offered you partnership because he knew that's what you wanted. Like, he knew that was an easy way to get you. He's still cheating on you. He still ain't paying you no attention. He still ain't doing shit for you. You know what I mean? You're just in a relationship for the fuck's sake of being in a relationship, but you're not in a partnership, right? You're in a relationship. Like, a lot of people be in relationships with a title, but none of the responsibility. And that's what I really be trying to get into folks' heads. Like, a relationship is a fucking responsibility. Any type of relationship is a responsibility. Like, your relationship with your sister is a responsibility. Your relationship with your parents is a responsibility. Your relationship with your friends is a responsibility. Like, you have a responsibility to everybody you are in a relationship with. A relationship is not just a cute little title. It's just not the name of something. It highlights the duty that you guys provide for one another. So I'm like, if you're in a relationship, quote unquote, and nobody's loyal, right? Y'all aren't emotionally vulnerable. You don't know anything about each other, right? Y'all don't even like each other past the fact that you're comfortable, right? He might do something for you, pay a bill or two, right? He dick you down, which is probably the main source of y'all's connection, because y'all gotta fuck, right? That sex keep y'all all your head all fucked up, right? And the only other thing is that y'all have a title. Y'all say y'all are in a relationship. Y'all post pictures on Instagram. Y'all are providing that social role to the public, right? And that's how I know, like, relationships really haven't changed that much since the 1800s. Nowadays, women just pick their prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of y'all just pick y'all prison, unfortunately, right? It used to be like your family will sell you off to the man who don't love you, don't care about you. But now, a lot of y'all just pick the man who don't care about you. Because y'all don't be caring about yourselves enough, right? And that's what I think it is. Like, when you know yourself, this is what I think. Like, this is what I think really makes a good, stable relationship that's gonna make it, right? Affection, like real love and affection, right? Y'all have an emotional connection, a vibe, there's vulnerability there, like y'all are unraveling the layers of each other, right? That makes a good connection. Plus, right? Because there has to be plus. That's not enough. Like, a lot of people think that's enough. Vibes are not enough for a relationship, right? So plus duty, right? The duty that you have to one another, the duty of commitment, right? Loyalty, right? Respect, right? Honor, right? And like towards each other's highest good, right? Because that's the duty you owe yourself, right? To love yourself means to always be working towards and operating in your highest good. And so to love another also means to be operating and working towards their highest good, right? You would never work against the person you love highest good. That's not love, right? So you got real connection, compatibility, plus duty, right? But also aligned, shared vision. This one's important too. Like, if you and somebody are dating and y'all have affection and y'all are both dutiful for each other, but y'all have different visions for life, you are wasting your time. You are wasting your time. Why are you with somebody who doesn't want kids, doesn't want to get married, doesn't believe that's real, but those are the things that you want? That is the way that you envision your life. Or you see yourself living here in 2 to 3 years, or you don't want to be stagnant, or you know you want to go back to school, right? Or whatever it may be. If you and two people are not talking about shared vision, it is so pointless. And this is why I say to master yourself first is the foundation of any relationship, right? Any relationship. You need to master yourself. You cannot be out here trying to build a life with somebody and you don't even know what you want your own life to look like. Trying to build your life or trying to figure out what you want with somebody simultaneously while building a life with them is frivolous. Right? And this is why so many housewives are unhappy. This is why women are the number one people to divorce. It's not because the man is unhappy or the man is making it. It's because the man is building his life, right? He knows exactly what he wants in his life because society makes men choose what they want out of life. Society tells women to choose a man who knows what he wants in life. And that's a lot different than being the person who has the vision, right? Choosing the man with the vision instead of having your own vision is always going to be women's ultimate downfall. You need your own vision, right? So a lot of women end up leaving their husbands, not because the man did anything, not because he cheated, but because they're unhappy. Why are they unhappy? Because they don't have a vision for their life. They realize that they're 30, they're 40 years old, and all they've done in life is be a wife and a mother. And now they're miserable because they didn't think about being bored. They didn't think about doing anything else other than serving another, serving your children, serving your husband, and now they're bored. But I don't think that's men's fault, right? That's the part that I never agree with. Is it a man's fault that you chose to not have hobbies, to not have a life outside of being a wife and a mother? No, that's something you chose. You chose that. Is there societal conditioning in it? Yeah, of course. But at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own life, your own choice, your own destiny. Life is not just happening to you. You are actively choosing your life. So I just want to tell women to think about that. Like, please think about what you want for your life, like what you want to do, what you want to be before you think about getting with a man. A man is not going to he's not going to fix the unhappiness that you feel with inside of yourself. He's not. He can't. Even if he wanted to, he can't. And there are men out here who give women the world, and these women still be unhappy. And that's because they haven't figured it out for themselves. If you're a man and you're watching this video, don't choose a woman who doesn't know what she wants in life. If she gonna leave you, if you're all she wants in life, baby, I promise you she's gonna leave you. Because by the time she turns 30, 40, she's gonna want more. All of a sudden she's gonna be like, I want a career, I want to do this, I want to travel. It's like we never call that midlife crisis for women, but it is. Like, it is. We always talk about midlife crisis and we're talking about men. Women go through that too, right? For men, midlife crisis is usually like they realize that they decided to be a family man, a working man, a provider their whole life, and now they want to do something adventurous. And that makes sense too. Anyways, but yeah, it's okay not to be in a relationship. It's okay not to have found anybody yet, because it shouldn't be easy. That's the truth. It shouldn't be easy to find somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with. Eternity, forever, is a long time. Being with somebody for 50, 60 years is a long time. That's not somebody you're going to find at the bar, at the club, by chance. Like, it's not going to be some nigga you met on a drunken night. It's not going to be somebody you met on Tinder. It's going to be somebody that you consciously aligned with. And I think that's like a hard pill for women to swallow, because knowing that love might not be easy to find in the vast world that we live in means that you might spend a significant amount of time alone, and that terrifies people. But if you are afraid to be alone with yourself, imagine how terrible you must be in a relationship. Sit with that. Anyways, y'all, the basketball game already then started. I done spoke my little piece or whatever. And I hope that helps. Like, I hope that helps. I hope these conversations are like, I hope anybody's being helped by it. Because when I was younger, I could have used a conversation like this. Because I used to be terribly, like, I used to be afraid of dying alone. I don't know. I was 15 and under the impression that one day I would die alone, or I would never meet anybody. And why would I think that at such a young age? Why was I ever worried about never being picked? It all seems pretty silly now. But yeah, anyways, I thank you guys for listening. Basically, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow me on TikTok, Supreme Teams, follow me on Facebook, and follow me on IG. And until next time.